Have you ever sat quietly, really quietly, and noticed how alive silence can be? At first, it may feel strange. We're so used to noise, the endless hum of conversations, the buzzing of phones, the constant stream of news and notifications. Our world has grown loud, and in that loudness, silence can almost feel uncomfortable. But if you stay in it, something shifts. The silence no longer feels empty. It begins to feel full of peace, full of clarity, full of wisdom. Silence, my friends, is not weakness. It is not an absence of life. It is one of the greatest sources of power we can ever discover. Welcome back to Shining Trails to Prosperity. Today we're going to take a deep journey together into the power of silence. Why it matters, how it transforms us, and how it can even become a key to success. Silence is not just the absence of sound. It is the presence of awareness. It is the stillness that allows us to hear not just the world around us, but the whispers inside our own hearts. Think about this. When we talk, we only repeat what we already know. But when we stay silent and listen, we create space to learn something new. Silence helps us in ways we don't always see right away. It gives us time to reflect before reacting. It keeps us calm when the world around us is restless. It allows us to hear others more deeply beyond their words. And most importantly, it gives us the chance to hear our own truth. Many of history's greatest leaders, thinkers, and visionaries knew this. They practiced silence, not because they had nothing to say, but because they knew the value of waiting, listening, and speaking only when the time was right. Let me share with you a story. There was a young woman named Sarah. She worked in a large company where meetings were busy, fast, and filled with voices. Everyone wanted to be heard. Everyone wanted to prove their worth. And the louder someone spoke, the more people seemed to notice them. But Sarah was different. She didn't try to speak over others. She didn't rush to give answers. She listened. She observed. She stayed silent until the right moment came. At first, people thought she was shy. Some even thought she didn't have much to contribute. But Sarah wasn't weak. She was strong. She just carried her strength differently. One day, her company faced a major problem. A project that everyone had been working on for months was falling apart. A meeting was called, and the room was filled with stress and tension. Everyone argued. Voices grew louder. People repeated themselves without really listening to each other. And there was Sarah, quiet, calm, listening carefully. She took in every word, every idea, every frustration. And then, when the noise finally began to fade, she spoke. Her voice was not loud. Her words were not many. But they were clear. They carried wisdom. Because her silence had given her the gift of clarity. She pointed out something that everyone else had missed. Her idea, born out of listening rather than arguing, was simple but powerful. It saved the project. Her team was surprised. Her leaders were impressed. And from that day on, people looked at Sarah differently. They realized that her silence was not emptiness. It was strength. It was the source of her insight and wisdom. Soon, Sarah was promoted. She became a leader not because she was the loudest voice in the room, but because she was the most thoughtful one. Her story reminds us all. Sometimes the most powerful voice is the one that waits in silence. Now let's pause and reflect on what Sarah's story teaches us. Silence does three powerful things in our lives. First, silence protects us. When we're angry, silence can stop us from saying words we'll later regret. When we're hurt, silence gives us time to heal before reacting. Second, silence sharpens us. In the quiet, our minds are able to process thoughts more clearly. We can see situations from different angles, and often the answers we've been searching for reveal themselves. Third, silence connects us. It deepens our relationships. When we truly listen in silence, others feel valued and understood. And when we sit in silence with ourselves, we begin to truly know who we are. Think of silence like soil. Just as seeds need quiet earth to grow into strong trees, our thoughts and dreams need silence to grow into wisdom and success. Now you might be wondering, how can I bring more silence into my own life? It doesn't mean we have to sit in meditation for hours or escape to the mountains. It starts with small steps, in conversations. Listen more than you speak. Allow pauses. Don't rush to fill every gap with words. In conflicts, stay silent for a moment before responding. That pause can change everything. In daily life, take a few minutes each day to sit quietly. No phone, no distractions, just you, your breath, and silence. Even walking in nature or sitting by a window in stillness can recharge the soul. And remember, silence is not about ignoring the world. It's about reconnecting with it from a place of calm strength. So here's a gentle challenge. Today, give yourself a gift, 5 minutes of silence. Find a quiet spot, close your eyes, breathe deeply. Don't force thoughts away, just let them settle naturally, and then notice how you feel after those 5 minutes. Notice the peace, notice the clarity, notice the strength. Imagine if you carried that silence into your decisions, your conversations, your work, and your relationships. Imagine the power it would bring. My friends, silence is not emptiness. It is the doorway to wisdom, peace, and prosperity. It is where our best ideas are born, where our strongest relationships grow, and where our true self can be heard. Remember Sarah's story. Remember that silence does not make you invisible. It makes you powerful in a way noise never can. So, the next time life feels overwhelming, or when you face confusion, take a pause. Breathe. Let silence speak. And you may find the answer you were searching for. Thank you for joining me today on Shining Trails to Prosperity. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who needs peace in their life. And if you're new here, subscribe and walk with us on this trail of wisdom, inspiration, and light. Together, let's build a world not only of words, but of meaningful silences that lead us to true prosperity.